Hello. 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 Hi. Why didn't my unicorn light turn on? Unicorn me. My light, there it is. I swear I told it to turn on earlier, but I didn't double check it. Okay, thanks. Go away now. Yeah, I say unicorn me to turn it on. And then to turn it back off again, I say unicorns aren't real. It's really good. All right. I need to get my lighting set up. You can admire Jammy Dodgers. Gestures to Jammy Dodgers. While you wait. Not that there's really much waiting. Hi. How's everybody doing? Yes, I needed a pre-stream stream. Welcome, Kat Crocheting. Welcome, Sylvia. I'm planning on doing a nail art thing tonight. The plan is Pan Pride. And as you can see on the mat, I was testing out a couple of things to decide what I wanted to do for my background. But I haven't actually fully formed a concept of how I want to actually do the mani yet. I have some ideas, but yeah, we're gonna get there together. It's freaking hot. We suddenly went from, it was like the night before last, it was 8 degrees Celsius here. I don't know what that is in American. It's chilly. I mean, 0 Celsius is freezing, and 22-ish is most people's kind of room temperature ballpark. So, chilly. And today, I think it topped out at like 80 degrees. 30 degrees Celsius. I think that's 80, 89, 85. 85? Is that 85? Something like that. It's hot. It's just steamy. Like, it'll get hotter. It's not as hot as it's going to get, but it's hot. It's sweaty. Hey, Sassy. You're cramping, but your nails look delicious. I am delighted to hear that. I did not see a post from you on the Discord. You mentioned your nails, that you were getting them done and that you loved them, but I didn't actually see a post. Did I just miss it? I would like to see your mani that you did. Did you end up using a white undie or a blurring base for that, or did you just go with the arcade jellies on their own? For anybody who was not privy to the conversation, Sassy was talking about using the Plus Life Lacquers arcade jellies, which are a gorgeous rainbow collection of like super saturated, delicious jellies that have like hollow in them, similar to the Minecraft potion set that I was playing with last week, but instead of hollow bars, it's like, is it hollow or is it reflect? I can't remember which one the arcade is. I think it's hollow in the arcade one. You went from nails to eating to cramping to this stream. Great. Oh, okay, so you haven't done photos yet. All right. Well, hopefully you won't ding the nails before you get the photos done. Ruby was right. You went naked. 2 smoothing base coats because the Phantom and not Milky White hated your ridges. Yeah. It's reflect, not hollow in the arcades. Thank you. They have, are the candy shop ones? I forget. Are those ones hollow? Because they have soda pop. Is it Soda Pop Shop, Soda Shop, something like that? Is the other one Soda Shop, right? I am getting it confused with Tyler's Trinkets Drag Queen Candy Shop collection, which is also a rainbow collection. but neons. Anyway, juicy shit. Very into juicy jellies right now. Oh, your friend left them with you? Awesome. Yeah, you're gonna have to do multiple manis with them because they're very fun. Well, they just came out with the Minecraft Minecraft potions, which are hollow bars. So did our Silver Flake. Oh, I thought those ones were hollow. I thought one of the previous ones were hollow. Okay. So the Minecraft ones are the only hollow ones then. Well, there you go. Shows what I know. Here's me with the fake news. Jeez. I'm just enjoying the explosions right now, but we won't talk about any of that. I know you're all enjoying all the social media implosions lately. So what I'm thinking is I might do thumb and middle or thumb and ring as the Pan Pride flag. So do stripes. And then the index, middle, pinky, or whichever ones are not being used, as just solid one of those three colors. And then on the flag nails, do some sort of more detailed nail art. I was considering a raccoon because I have a really cute raccoon tattoo on the back of my arm, which is actually a bi Pride raccoon that I got as flash piece, a Pride flash piece from a shop in Toronto a couple of years back. But I kind of associate both unicorns and raccoons with my bi/pan self and identity. And so no explanation for raccoons. You support regardless. Yeah. It's just they're very close to my heart. Also, hello, Mr. Husky. Welcome. Here's my raccoon. Hopefully you can kind of see it reasonably well. You know what? Let me make that bigger. Hang on. There. This might help. This terrible lighting for this. But yeah, hopefully you at least kind of get the idea. There's my baby. My little raccoon in a unicorn onesie, done by Jacqueline at Stormhorse Tattoo in Toronto. And yeah, I kind of I feel like it's very reflective of my candy obsessed crazy. It's huge. Is it? You think it's huge? I don't think it's huge. Most of my tattoos are that big. I got this one also, which I think is bigger. And I got a bigger one back here. I can't show you the whole thing. It doesn't go down that far. I got a couple of big ones on my thigh that I'm definitely not showing you on stream. But bigger than that. Yeah, most of my pieces are on the larger side. I feel like if I'm gonna bother, I'm gonna get something reasonably. How did my visible shoulder piece feel? Which one is that? Are you talking about this one here that's across a little bit on my collarbone, mostly on the front? This one was not too bad. But like, here's the thing. Everybody is different. So for instance, a lot of people find that thigh tattoos are really, really easy for them and they barely feel it and they'll like nap through it. And for me, the thigh was one of the hardest ones I've ever done. Um, this one here I found very easy. It got a tiny bit spicy on like a couple of parts where it was going right across the collarbone, but really not bad at all. These ones were easy. Actually, everything on my arms has been easy. The only really hard ones have been my thighs and my ankles. So, actually, the spine was a little bit. I have one that's like right in the middle on my spine, and that one got a little. That one got a little rough, but it wasn't very big. So, thankfully, it was fairly. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, flash tattoos usually are a little bit smaller, um, and they do typically offer, a mix of smaller and larger flash. But yeah, that was a big piece. You have your ankle and your sternum done, and you heard that's a painful area, but you remember thinking of sandwiches during your sternum. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there are trends like ribs, sternums, any kind of like area that's super like right on top of a bone or right in a joint tend to be more painful. But like it's not a hard and fast rule. So it just really kind of depends on your body. I will say there's a certain amount of, at least for me, there's a certain amount of, like, if an area on me is a little bit ticklish, it's much more likely to be painful for a tattoo. And also, anything on my legs seems to be worse. But I think that's partly also because I have restless leg syndrome, and so it's also just really difficult for me to hold my legs still, because as soon as I relax, my legs start to spasm. Once I'm like, if I'm sitting for, an hour or two, my legs will just start to go. That's it. So, yeah, color packing can hurt. That's the other thing, is that it does depend too on color tends to be much more painful than black and gray, mostly because you have to really get it in more dense usually. So it tends to be a little bit more painful. The few that I have that are not full color were an absolute breeze. You didn't realize I was so tatted? Oh yeah, I have a bunch. I should do a tattoo tour at some point in time, on Instagram, and just like post photos of all my tattoos, because I do have a fair number of them. I want more. I always want more. All the time I want more. I was looking the other day. I was looking for Pride Flash around my area, and like, I wasn't finding anything that was exciting to me, unfortunately. Yeah. PBE, you need a tour? All right. I can give you a tour at PBE. The thigh ones might be a little challenging. It'll depend on what I'm wearing. I might have to take you into the bathroom to tour you on those. But the hand one was easy. Easy. The hand ones I barely felt. This one was a tiny, tiny bit spicy, but like really very minimal. Like, I remember sitting there and being like, oh, that one spot was a little bit spicy. That was it. That was my entire reaction to it. So, but I know people that have had hand ones done that have been really painful for them. And I think part of it depends too on where it is. Like, I think if it had gone on the inside, that would have been significantly more painful. On the outside here, this is a much less sensitive area. If you like just very gently touch the outside of your finger versus the inside of your finger, you should be able to tell those feel really different. So I do think that's a relevant thing. Once you're mid-30s, if you're tatted enough, you want a neck tattoo? Yeah, I mean goals, man. Okay, let's get started on this. I do have my base down. So I'm thinking flag, flag, hot pink, yellow, blue. That's the order, right? Hot pink, yellow, and then blue. I think so. Should we double check that? Maybe we should double check that. Yes, hot pink, yellow, and then blue. Okay. Yeah, so do the full flag on these two, and then do nail art on those two. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the base. And I decided I definitely wanted to use these three, which are these three colors here. Let me actually go to the Nails Up display here. So I want to do these three colors for my base. But I guess I'm wondering if I want to do those three colors just on their own, or if I want to do them with these flakies over top. So these three here, the same colors, but with these sweet and sour lacquer flakies on top. What do you two? What do you What do y'all think? Should we do with the flakies or without the flakies for my base color? Should I do a poll, or I guess I'll do a poll. Let's do a poll. Why not? Start a poll. Flakes? Question mark. Yes, no. Y'all tell me, which one? And then we're going to do nail art over them regardless. So. I'm going to wait. I am going to go ahead and start applying, though, because this is going to be the base regardless. So I will say the three base colors that I'm using here, I did get all of these in PR. So two of these are BCB, and one is Monarch. The BCB ones I received in exchange for swatch photos, and the Monarch one was gifted PR. So I did not have to provide anything to them, but I am in their affiliate program. Ray is lurking tonight. That's allowed. Does Ray have a vote about flakies or not? What's the vote at? It's 50-50 right now, y'all. The flag nails, I definitely think would be better without the flakes. But the ones that are just a single color, I think those ones are it's more reasonable to play around with them if we want to. Do I have Beyond the Sunset from BCB? Yeah. Why do you ask? It's not the right color for this. Do you need to see it compared to something? It's more red. Okay, let's go ahead. Ray votes flakies. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll then. That Ray will be the tiebreaker. You were trying to find a comparison of that and pheromones? Oh, they're wildly different. Hang on, I have them on swatch wheels. They're wildly, wildly different. Let me just do a quick... okay. There's... that one's pheromones. And where is it? Where are my other neons? I haven't tidied up my neon swatch wheels, y'all. I just have like so many swatch wheels over here, just in a pile together. Where did the... I swear. Okay, I'll just go get the bottle. Hang on a minute. Clearly I need to do some tidying. This one's a more orangey, ready kind of color, and I will just quickly swipe it out next to pheromones. Okay. That's your difference. What's up? What are you voting for? Well, it's too late. The vote was between, you can ignore this, using these on their own for my Pan Pride Manny, or with flakes over top, and with flakes won. Flakes on singles, but no flakes on flag, I think is the way to go, yeah. And hello, Ashley, welcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get... I still haven't gotten my my thing open yet. I haven't really tried yet, though, so I'm just going to use this as my palette. Oh, I need... oh, I guess I can just use this. This is not my best brush, but... okay. Pink at the top. So the game plan tonight is Pan Pride Manny, fairly simple base nail art, but then gonna do some raccoony shit on top. You thought your vote mattered? Well, you were wrong, Ashley. That's not straight. I can't even... The jokes write themselves. I can never, ever paint a straight line on my thumbnail. It always ends up tilted. And always the same way. Every single time. And I know it's because I'm, I tend to have my thumb at a bit of an angle, but it is extremely funny to me that no matter how I try, every single time I end up with just an extremely not straight line. Yeah, exactly. Pride is not straight. Is this another Starly brush? No, this is a dirt cheap Amazon brush. It's fine. It was part of a set. It's fine. It's acceptable. It does the job. It's not good, but it's fine. Uh-oh. It's a stream. It's official. Stream has started. I don't know why that always happens. Literally every single time. Okay, and then this nail... because I like to do my thumbs reversed directionally. Up is a different direction on my thumbs than it is on the rest of my nails, because it makes more sense to my tiny, tiny brain that way. I don't know. Because I look at my thumb like this. This is up. But these, I look at them like this. I understand that not everybody has the same up for their nails. That's okay. We're not up shaming here. Okay. Up shaming would be funny though. I probably should have just done this with the tiny brush. That would have made life a little bit easier, I think. Whatever. Yeah, this is stupid. I'll just get in there. Come on, get down there. I gotta get the cleanup brush in there now. I made a hell of a mess. That's okay. Okay. Your bestie was saying she made one of her thumbs the prettiest nail in the mani because she stares at it during crochet. That makes total sense. I often do the best job on the thumb, or attempt to do the best job on the thumb, in part because, yes, I see it a little bit more. But also, like if I'm filming nail art, a lot of the time I'm just filming the thumbnail because it's the easiest one to film. It's also the easiest one to do detailed stuff on, in my opinion. At least for me, for the way that I paint. It's a lot easier for me to do more complex, detailed nail art with it. Okay, and now the yellow. And try and even this out a little bit if we can. I don't know if I'll be able to, but you know, I'm not going to worry too much about it. It is, after all, also going to have some nail art over it. So, you know, maybe we just don't worry too terribly much. I think like about there. Are you kind of straight? Sorta. Mostly. Sorta, mostly, kinda. Straight enough. Especially for a Pan Pride. Yeah, it also does have a larger canvas, which does make life a little easier for more detailed nail art. Thumb is definitely the star when it comes to detail. Although I also find that since I often start with the thumb, sometimes I get better at it as I go along, and so one of the other nails ends up actually being better because I've had some practice. But, oh well, whatever. It's fine. Alright. And then... sort of kind of straight enough. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm married to a straight dude. So, you know, in a lot of people's minds, they think I'm straight. Sort of kind of straight enough. Definitely not, but I can pass if I need to. It's more fun not, though. Especially if you get to give someone a little minor heart attack by subverting expectations. Although I do worry these days a little bit. Try not to be a downer here. Maybe things will just get extra crazy and we'll end up with this whole ridiculous high school girl slap fight drama ending up putting us in a better position. I am not happy with how the bottom of that came out. It's not straight enough. I know we're not going for straight, but I want slightly more straight than that. Got like a little lumpy there. Eh. Eh. Maybe it'll be easier to fix it with the blue. I'm struggling, y'all. Struggling. All right. Blue. We're almost to the end of the hardest part. I find it's easier to do the second coat once I've done the first coat with stuff like this, because at least you've kind of got it. You've got the placement sorted out. Okay. You trust me and my process? Thanks. That trust might be misplaced, but I definitely don't trust my process. My process has really failed me on a number of occasions. That's okay, though. We just try again if it doesn't work. If shit goes wonky, we just muddle our way through and make something okay out of it. That's how we roll around here. Oh boy, this is drying out. I've got a fan going because it's freaking hot. We do have the AC on, but we don't like to have the AC on too much. And this is the warmest warmest room in the house. So it still gets a little stuffy and hot in here. Oh, I don't want to close that yet. I still need to do this now. What am I doing? I'll aboard the struggle bus. Seriously. This is, I really love Monarch's shimmers, but they can be a struggle for nail art because they're quite thick and they dry quite quickly. So I do sometimes find they're a little bit challenging to use for this. It does make them really nice for application as just like a, 1 or 2 coat opaque shimmer. They're great for that. But yeah, it's a little challenging when you're trying to do the nail art thing. Okay, we've got a first coat of everything on. We are going to need a second coat, but that should go a little more smoothly. And the other nails should be ready for a second coat. I feel like I could have done a bit more pink on that nail, but that's okay. All right, round 2. Fight! Don't fight. I didn't mean it. So we're going to do 2 coats of the base color, and then we'll do 1 coat of the flaky and see how we like it. We may or may not want a second coat of the flaky. We'll just have to see. We'll decide when we get there whether we want a second coat. This one, by the way, is Hop In. Pheromones, obviously, everybody knows. And then this one is Vitamin D-licious. Again, these were all PR. All right. I had the hardest time finding a blue in my collection for this, believe it or not. Like 99% of the blues in my collection are actually teals. And the Pan Pride flag is not a teal blue. It's very much a cerulean blue. And this is like the only cerulean blue that I have. It's like anywhere near the right tone. I was shocked. I was actually considering doing cremes originally, and then discovered that I don't even have quite the right, like, what's that Holotaco board meeting? Is that the one that I'm thinking of? That's blue. That's like the closest I have for a creme, which in my opinion is just not the correct color at all. All right. You're in lurk mode, driving your kid to swim. Nice. Are they enjoying swim class? It's a class, right? I guess you can't answer that if you're driving. I hope that they enjoy it. Okay, so about the nail art. So we're gonna do over top of the flag on the thumb and the ring finger. I'm thinking a raccoon face. Do I want a raccoon face on each one, or do I want a face and like a tail, face and a pair of hands? I'm not sure exactly what I want to do for the nail art. I think face on the thumb for sure. That's 100% face on the thumb. We're doing that. But yeah, I'm not really quite set on what I want to do on the ring finger. So if anybody has any suggestions, I would be very open to hearing those. Something raccoony. It could be a raccoon silhouette from the side, maybe, or I don't know. Stamping or freehand? We're doing freehand. I don't think I even have raccoon stamps. This is going to be all freehand. All freehand all the time. Face and hands, Sylvia says. Oof. Oh, geez. My chair just caused a minor disturbance. There we go. All right. Let's see. Do the second coat. Raccoon hands are adorable. I 100% agree with you. They're like weird little hairy people hands. Which sounds like an insult, but totally isn't. Face, hands, belly, tail. Don't know if I actually need to do the whole thing here. I feel like I can probably get away with just doing a little bit. That's probably good enough there. All right. And a little bit of yeller. Gotta get some yeller on here. The yellow is the one that really needs the second coat. The other two I could probably get away without, but the yellow definitely needs it. Which is, of course, typical of yellows. I don't think I've ever seen a true one-coat yellow that's, like, totally opaque. Certainly not a neon. least not the way I paint. Maybe somebody can get them to be opaque in one coat. I think that would be quite a feat. All right. You have a stamping one? Raccoon, you mean? I might have... I feel like I have a couple of raccoons on stamping plates that are just, like, not quite right for this. Like, the Lantern and Wren Animals at Work, I think, has a raccoon, but it's, like, wearing clothes and doing stuff, like a people, which is not really what I want. And I think there might be a raccoon on... Oh, actually, I do have raccoon stamping plates. What am I thinking? I have, I have that manuscript plate. Maybe I should take a look at that. I forgot that I have that. That would be a lot easier than hand painting. All right, let me dig that up and see if I think that has anything on it that will work for this. Because that would open up some options. Because hand painting takes a really long time. Takes forever. And y'all know I end up rushing when I hand paint when I'm streaming because I feel bad that it takes so long. Which I understand that's a little bit silly, but still, brains be braining. Alright. Animals. Animals. Alright, so it's a manuscript plate, so it's gonna be like this size. Alright, let's see. It does have... Let me give this a bit of a cleaning so I can more easily see what's on it. Okay. Okay. I almost bought a gallon of acetone from Sally Beauty, and then I was like, that's too much acetone. And it's not in the sense that, like, I would definitely go through it in a reasonable amount of time, but also that's a gallon of a flammable liquid in my studio. Which seems like a bad idea. Okay, raccoons. We got this cute little squart guy doing a squat. I don't want one with sunglasses. I don't like that one. I like this one. I'm not sure what it's holding, but I like it. It might be some salad or some flowers. Hard to tell. This guy's not bad. I don't know about this guy. He's got kind of a funny look on his face. I don't know if I trust him. The Adopt a Cat one is pretty cute. Trashy but classy. It's a little too pointy for my taste, I think. I do like this one that says Trash Panda. I don't like the snarly one. I'm thinking maybe this one here and this one here. Can y'all see these? So I'm thinking maybe I do this one on like the ring finger and then this one on the thumb. You like the trash one on the right? Can I change what it's holding to candy? I mean, yeah. I don't see why I couldn't. Which is the trash one? You mean the one that's in the trash can? I feel like there's too much trash can and not enough raccoon. But I really like this one here. So I think I might do this one on the ring finger. I think that might be the way to go. Those two are cute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think if I just paint over top of it, like maybe I can take away some of the internal lines on the stamp. And if not, then I can just paint over top after stamping. Okay. So I think black outlines will be the thing to do. And I am going to want to put some top coat on here before I do that. And the other guys are also going to get their flakes, but I think I will wait a little while for that. Yeah, I want to wait a little bit longer. Okay, stampers. I'll see if my black will stamp well enough, or if I have to grab my stamping black. Depends on the plate. This, the Abomination, the Abyss, Abomination Cosmetics one, which I got this as PR as well. I've found that it depends on the plate. On some plates it stamps fine, and on other plates it's not as good. So it seems to just sort of depend on like how easy it is to stamp that particular plate. You know how some of them are like a little too fine or not etched quite as perfectly, and these ones are fairly fine, so it's possible that they might be too fine to work with this polish. So if that's the case, then I will just grab my stamping black. But I kind of preferentially wanted to use as many of the Abomination Cosmetics ones as I can this month, just because the owner is trans, and I feel like it's just nice to be able to use polish from a trans maker during Pride Month. You know what I mean? Just seemed like a nice thing to do. All right. Check and see how the size is going to be on this as well. I think it should be good. Yeah, that's a reasonable size. I probably could have even sized up slightly, but okay. And then can I take some of this out? At least take some of it out. And then we'll figure out the rest as we go along. I'll just paint over top of it. Don't want to mess around with it too much or I'll screw it up. Okay. What polish do I have on my right hand? This is Royla Lee Diemfum. I don't know if I'm... Diemflum. Hang on. It's this, and it actually looks wildly different depending on the lighting. So right now it kind of looks like it's doing a purple sort of greeny thing mostly, but yeah, depending on the light, it shifts quite a bit. It actually reminds me of a Bee's Knees lacquer. What's the one I'm thinking of? Am I thinking of I Won't Remember What You Mean to Me? Does anyone remember? I think I'm thinking of You I Won't Remember What You Mean to Me. It's not quite exactly the same. But yeah, that's BKL. And that's Roy Lilly. Similar. Very similar vibes. And very similar on the nail. Anyway. Yeah, I threw that on today. I bought that and a few others from their most recent release because oh god, what the hell is my brain is just coming up with Sneak Wife. Polished Bookworm. You know, yeah, Polished Bookworm totally fucking sold me on those. This tail did not come up. She got those. She was paid to swatch those ones, and I fucking fell in love with that collection. Deem Flum is not in that collection, but I picked it up at the same time. But yeah, it's like something... What's the collection called? Something Society something. I forget. Whatever it's called. Morwin, hello! Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I'm complaining about Alyssa selling me stuff. Ah! I can't believe I just did that. I screwed up the tail slightly. I think it's okay though, because I think that's going to end up being mostly off my nail. Is that going to be mostly off my nail? It's not. I have to stamp it again. God damn it. Try again. And it's bugging me that I can't remember the name of the collection. The Social Season collection. Yeah, it's the Bridgerton. Yeah, I picked up a few of those and really, really love them. I was actually wearing earlier today the like turquoisey color and the orange from that collection, but I also picked up a couple of others. Well, one other, I think, from that collection. And then I also grabbed their charity one. Maybe she's Barn with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Which I just really appreciated. Okay, this is giving me problems, so we're going to switch to a stamping black for this one. And I'm gonna flip this and use a clean section of that cotton pad. Grab my stamping black. I don't feel like fucking around with it anymore. Yeah, Alyssa's swatches of that collection fucking did me in. So this one's just Twinkled Tea black, and I find that it's very reliable. There we go. The other one's working, it's just I'm getting frustrated. And one of the times it didn't work as well, but that was after I was already frustrated, so it's like I need to not fuck around. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have the patience for it and sometimes I don't. Okay. There we go. Clean and ready for next time. Meow. We will set that aside. And start doing some filling in. Maybe I should do my flakes. first. Yeah, the name is hilarious. It's a very good name. Okay, so the flakes I'm adding on top are sweet and sour lacquer. I purchased these. I don't have any kind of relationship with sweet and sour. These are blue raspberry, wild strawberry, and banana from their rock candy collection, which was 2 summers ago. Not last summer, but the summer before. And I love it. Is that cotton holder worth getting, you think? You just use tweezers? Well, so the one that I'm using is from a brand that I do not support, and so I wouldn't buy it. If I knew then what I know now. But if you can find one that's the right size, then they're great. But if tweezers are working fine for you, then just use tweezers. Like, if you're not having a problem with the tweezers, I don't see any reason why you should spend more money. But I have, the other one that I have is like, where the hell even is it? It's incredibly tiny, and it, like, the prongs on it are way too small to use for a regular size cotton ball. Like, it just doesn't work. So yeah, if your tweezers are working fine, then I would just use tweezers. Sonyo, hello, welcome. We're doing a pan pride, Manny. Okay, so that's one coat of the flakies, and I guess the question is going to be, do we want to do a second coat of the flake on top of those 3 nails? So y'all can let me know if you think it wants a second coat, or if we're happy with 1 coat on those. And in the meantime, I will get to doing these reverse stamps. All right, so black, white, and we'll just mix our gray. Bum, 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 bum. What does a raccoon look like? Listen, it's not that I don't know what a raccoon looks like. It's just that, you please open this image in a new tab. Thank you. It's just that I want to have some reference for the coloration so that I know that I'm not doing anything real dumb. You know what I mean? It's easier if you have a little reference. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on screen so y'all can see what I'm looking at as well. Are you, hello? There it is. This is gonna be my reference for coloring. Is cute, yeah? Is cute. Oh shit. Wrong way. There we go. They look suspicious. Yes, they do look suspicious. You got not giant cotton balls once and you much prefer the jumbo. Yeah, I mean, the ones that I get are just the regular size. I don't hate them. The jumbo ones I find can be a little bit much for my use, but I don't use them to remove polish from my nails. If I did, I would probably want larger ones. I use cotton pads instead for my nails. So I'm just going to do these in gray. I'm not going to bring in the brown tones for this. Because I don't think that I necessarily... I feel like that'll kind of muddy things up a little bit, you know what I mean? That makes sense. Hey, y'all can't see what the hell I'm doing, can you? Listen. There's only so much I can do about this. I'm trying here. A little more black there. I don't want to use pure black because the lines are pure black, so it's like I want to kind of try to try to avoid that, except for the nose itself, which we will do. Boop. A little actual black there. Come on. And then we're gonna do some much lighter stuff around the outside of that. It is a very suspicious look. They always look suspicious. Does everybody else kind of broadly agree with Sylvia that there are never enough flakes and that I should add more flakes? Is that a popular idea? I'm going to add some white around the mouth under there. Definitely going to need some thinner here. Where's my thingy? Oh, it's right there. Come on. Okay. Go almost all the way white, but not quite. I'm trying to like make it so that it will focus in a reasonable way on things that y'all actually want to see. But it's not super cooperating, so plus the lighting situation is a challenge. It's not going to do it. All right, and then we'll go a little more dark, slightly. What is the raccoon holding? Well, in the original stamp, it seems to be holding some sort of greens that might be flowers or I don't know. It's hard to tell exactly what it's holding, but I'm going to edit what it's holding so that it more closely resembles my tattoo. It's going to be holding some candy. All right, a little bit of black in here. Darken it up a bit. Not too much. We want some sort of mid-grays under here. And then I think the back is going to be a little bit darker toward the paws. The paws themselves are going to be very dark, but then we're going to have some lighter stripes along the tail, right? So I think I don't want to exactly follow those lines. I'm going to do a little bit of blendy. You know, blendy. That's the official technical term. That's how artists say it. You know, I went to art school. Sort of. Kind of. I did drop out of graphic design, so there's that. Don't know if you can really call that having gone to art school, but you're okay with being surprised. Morwen says, I love flakes. Sometimes they layer weird over light colors. Oh, well, we already have We already have one layer of the flakes. So it would just be more of the same. So, like, this is my test of, I think I just did one coat here. This is 2 coats, but it's over a different polish, so it's, yeah. I mean, I can do a second coat on this so we can see it, but no, it's okay. You didn't know. You came in late. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Do some sort of dark stuff here. And oh boy. Need to thin stuff out a little bit here. Getting too thick. Getting too thick. Okay. And then we'll go real dark for the paws, because it seems to me that their paws are generally quite dark. I do want a little bit more white for his little tum. Or hers, or theirs. I don't really know. I haven't asked this raccoon its pronouns. I'm not sure if raccoons use pronouns, to be honest. What with the lack of English language. Or human language, I guess. Okay, and then a little more dark. Almost black for the paws. I don't want all the way black, but I want almost black. Might not be even able to tell that it isn't black, but I'll know. And that will make me feel better. Okay. Let me see if we can, I don't know if you can actually see that, because it's got that weird stuff on the back. Let me see if I can. Want to focus? Can you focus, please? There we go. There's my little friend so far. Not too shabby. Hey, Najwa. I'm just doing some reverse stamping on a little raccoon friend at the moment. I need to figure out what candies this little guy is going to be holding. I think for the moment I might just dab in some bright colors, some sort of bright candy wrapper-ish colors, and then we can figure it out a little bit more as we, after stamping, as we detail the top a bit. Let's see. Maybe a green, orange. I'm gonna grab some like neons since we're all working with neons already. And I've already got that one out. And then let's grab a purple. There we go. We'll just do a few dabs of a few different colors in there and leave it at that for the moment and figure out what other details we want to add in there once it's actually stamped on and I can see what the hell I'm doing. I'm using more PR here. I've got some, wait, these two. Okay, so this one I purchased, that's Lynn B Designs, Laughs More, Worry Less. This one was PR for the pun of it from Apocalypse Polish. And then I've got two more PR BCB, Beyond the Sunset Leads My Way and Your Toast Nork. Just got to get these. As I pull these, I'm like, oh, I have to do more disclosures. Oh, I've pulled more polish. I need to do more disclosures. But, you know, we got to make sure that we're above board with everyone, with everything. Don't want anyone to think that they're, that I'm not being honest about any part of this. I'm not trying to sell you shit in this one. I'm just trying to show you what I'm doing. That's all. All right. And then this. I think I want a little bit more of the green in there. Don't feel like I got enough of the green. All right, we'll set that aside to dry for a bit while we work on the other one, which is going to be a little simpler. This is just going to be the black and white raccoon buddy. Although I could put a little heart on his tum if we wanted to, something like that. That could be cute. Back to our black and white. Oh, and I didn't specifically declare the white here, but that was also PR. That one is the void. I have the void and the abyss. Okay, so black with just a tiny bit of white for the paws. This one's a little bit simpler. Than the other guy. But we still want him to be heckin' cute if we can manage it. And then a little bit more white for around the eyes, not too much. What snark? I don't know what you're talking about. I have never once been snarky in my entire life, Kat. I'm sure I don't know what you could possibly be referring to. Listen, if you know, you know. I think I'm going to have to include some eye highlights on this after it's already stamped because it's a little too difficult to get in there at the moment. All right, a little more. Get some stripies. So we have just finished watching Your Friends and Neighbors. Don't ask me what streaming service we've been watching it on, because I actually don't remember. But it stars Jon Hamm, who is the Mad Men guy, just in case anybody else here is as bad at famous people names as I am. If that helps you, great. If it doesn't, I don't know, Google it. And I have to say, it's very funny. If you have not seen it, it's labeled as a drama, which I really think is like, maybe I'm just sick in the head. There might just be something wrong with me. But for me, it is absolutely a dark comedy. It's an extremely funny series in my mind. Yes, it is dramatic. Yes, lots of bad things happen. But also, oh boy, is it ever funny. Should make their eyes glow in the dark. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. But yeah, we just finished. The first season is all available to watch, and then there's apparently going to be more at some point in time. They're working on a second season, but it's basically about this just like incredibly rich dude who basically loses everything and starts just basically exploding his life in very interesting and fun ways to watch. And almost everybody in it is basically a terrible person. They're mostly all disgustingly wealthy. Yeah, it's entertaining. And also kind of horrifying. But like in a fun way. In a way that is amusing to watch, I think. It's like a fucking train wreck. Like, what are you people doing? So yeah, definitely recommend. This has been the Peggy recommends shows portion of the stream. That's it. That's all I got. He is also good in a miniseries he did with Daniel Radcliffe. Which one was that? I like John Hamm, but I have a bit of a hard time with him because sometimes he looks a little bit too much like my ex. It's just like, but that's not his fault, you know? He's a good actor, though. Very good actor. All right. How are we doing here? Do we have everything pretty much? Looks like we need to do around the ears here. I'm probably just gonna have to fill that in after the fact. I've got some stringiness happening. Something doctor. I don't know which one that is. I guess I'll just have to look up John Hamm, Daniel Radcliffe, and it will probably appear magically. Just gotta fill in some gaps in here. Okay, that'll do. No, it's fine. You don't have to look for it right now. I'll look for it if I remember. It's all good. This is not you entertain me hour. This is me entertain you hour. Or maybe just us entertain each other hour. I've got these little strings that happen when the polish starts to get a little bit too stringy. You get these little strings that appear, and they have a tendency to sort of spread themselves across the stamper, and then if you don't remove them, then they will absolutely show up on your nail. Especially with reverse stamping, because you do have to use some sort of sticky stuff to get everything to actually stick down. Okay. You're finally making progress on the hat that you frogged again. I love that you're crocheting hats and gloves in the middle of summer. I learned to crochet in the summer in Texas while camping. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a layer of quick dry base from Holo Taco. This is what I use as my sticky base. It's not marketed as a sticky base, but it has pretty much the same formula as Orly Bonder, which many people love as a sticky base. And so I decided to try it one day, and lo and behold, it worked really, really well. Really, really well. Unlike my mouth. So yeah, that's what I use as my sticky base these days. I guess I don't need this anymore, do I? But, you know, if you don't have something like that or an actually dedicated sticky base, one thing that I often recommend is just using any kind of clear base or top coat in a very thin layer, or you can even just use the polish color that you're using as your base color. Okay, there's going to be some spots here where it's not properly filled in, but we have to do some detail work on here anyway. So there's our little buddy. Probably should have done that a little bit more off to the side, but whatever, it is what it is. And then get this guy doing a little squart. Doing a little sit. There we go. All right. I'm glad y'all told me to, or got me thinking about what raccoon stamps I have, because I had completely forgotten that I had those. You're making them when you don't need them, yeah. Oh, you're making a baby blanket too? Yeah, that'll be nice. Does she know you're making a baby blanket for her? I have done a few baby blankets. Alright. Just going to do a little bit of touch up on some of these guys. So I forgot to fill in this part here, the inside of the ear. Why is this drying so much faster on that than it was on the mat? Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Seems like it's drying faster on the stamper than it was on the mat. Okay. Do a little touch up there. Do a little dots for eyes here. I think that's probably okay for that guy until I get to his candy. And this guy, I think, just needs the eye highlights. There we go. Okay. Oh, she picked the pattern? Cool. That's probably for the best. As much as it's nice to, like, get a surprise thing, it's also really nice if you get to have the thing made with love by your friend and also actually like it. Because you never know. Okay, so as far as the candy is concerned, I'm not sure what kinds of candy I want it to be, or whether I really care if it's recognizably specific types of candy. Do I care if it's recognizably specific types of candy? Is it likely to be recognizable at that scale anyway? Oh, she went with Zelda? That's cute. That is a cute theme. And of course will work for any gender, which is always nice for baby things. Especially if there's any chance you might want to pass them on. Do I have a candy plate? I don't know, maybe. What the fuck you asking me for? I don't know what I have. Let me check. I probably have some candy somewhere in here, don't I? I must. Right? This has some like candy, like lollipops. I could probably isolate one lollipop. Let's see if I've got anything else. Is there any candy on this plate? No. It's all space shit. Space shit. I've got a lot of spacey plates. I can never resist the spacey plates. This is all book stuff. Star Wars. I don't think there's going to be any other candy anywhere else. Is there likely to be any other candy anywhere else? I don't think so. Maybe under Spooky? Let's check. I have these new ones that I got from the Lantern and Wren sale. These are clear jelly stamper ones. I don't see any candy on those. And that's a Lantern and Wren one, but I don't see any candy on it. Candy corn is disgusting, and I refuse to use it for this. Different kind of lollipop. Sort of vaguely spidery. No, it looks like I just have the lollipop. There's ice cream there, but that's too big and doesn't quite work for this. Could I layer outlines? I must what? I must have candy? I don't know. I'm gonna try and isolate one of these lollipops. And I might just try and make something look a little bit like a wrapper as well. Not like a person who makes music with their mouth. The other kind of wrapper. Like maybe if I can sort of just put like a little square of one color. I'm just gonna try and make it like distinct sections of color. I think that might help, but also see if we can isolate one of these suckers. You're not doing the thing. Oh, that's not going to pick up right. Try again. That was user error and then some. You guess your candy is on a Voldemort plate? Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think I do have several candy designs, and they're just all on Voldemort plates, which I refuse to use on stream. So I don't even generally pull them for personal stuff when people aren't looking. I just don't like to use them really at all at this point. So, all right, let's see if we can. All right, got most of it there. I'm getting greedy. Getting greedy. It's a bad idea. Let's see if we can brush that back up into the right area here. I need my other. Sometimes you can kind of manipulate little strands just a tiny little bit at the edges. There we go. That seems very large. I should have done that on the shrinking stamper. Let's try this again on the shrinking stamper because that's way too big. I should have thought of that. Why didn't one of you say something to me about that being way too big? Obviously. I blame you. I am not going to take any personal responsibility for my part in that. It's all you guys. Y'all need to pay better attention to what I'm doing in order to correct my errors before they become a problem. Okay. That's, I think, a better size. There we go. Yeah, that would be a very happy raccoon with that size of candy, but I think this is a better size for it to actually be holding. I do think that I want to actually cut off the bottom part of it. There we go. And just have it sticking up out of everything else. So let's go ahead and clean this off. I'm trying to get better at cleaning my plates after I use them, so that I don't end up with just the most annoying problems. So far, it's going middlingly. Okay. So, I think we need to do a swirl of purple and red. That's what I'm thinking. I can maybe also add in another color. Do like purple, red, green or something. Let's try that. You prefer to do it before because of oils? That's fair. But I feel like I don't usually seem to have a whole lot of oily buildup regardless. I guess it depends on how much I touch the plates, but okay. So that's those three, and then we need a little white stem. And then let that dry down a tiny bit. Kind of feeling like I want to give this a little bit of a, maybe not like a solid white backing, but like, I feel like that'll help just a little bit. But also, I went a little over here, so I'm going to use that same trick to try and just gently get that part in line a little. There and down here. It probably doesn't look like I'm doing very much because I'm making just the tiniest adjustment. But yeah, just kind of pushing like literally like 1/4 of a millimeter over to the side. It's just a tiny extra bit of refinement that I find helps a little bit. You're not dry enough to lift properly. Come on. I know you want to dry off more before you lift, but I'm in a hurry, so just do it. Just dry faster. Thank you. Okay. So I think if I put this kind of off to the side this way. There we go. Now I think that reads a little bit more as like a handful of random candies plus a lollipop. What do you think? Is that sort of reading more as an assortment of foodstuffs of a non-healthy variety? And do I want to put a little heart in the middle of this guy? Just like a little neon red heart. What do you think? Yes? Yes, it's reading better, or yes, I should do a little neon heart? I asked you 2 yes or no questions with a time delay on chat, so I did that to myself. Najwa says, looks good, like lots of treats. Yeah, heart would be cute, says Morwin. All right, I think I want to use this for the heart, just because it's a fun color. Let's see, get a dotting tool here. I'm just gonna free ball here. This one might not be big enough. We'll see. Oh yeah, see, I've already fucked it up, so it's perfect. It's okay, I'm gonna do an outline around it. That'll help. What's going on? Did someone make a terrible smell, or are you helping with the temperature?
It's downstairs. Maybe your room of coffee.
That would be nice. Couldn't tell if Brian was like waving a fart into the room, or he opened the door and then started doing this. I was very confused. Like, did a cat poop and you're trying to share it with me? All right. So we've got that. I'm going to do a little black outline around it to try and help make it a little more obvious that it's a heart, but I think it's reasonably heart-shaped. You think he needs a sucker too? Like in his mouth, or you mean this one also needs a sucker? I'm gonna need you to be more specific. You think the second one that has the heart also requires a sucker? I feel like that might get complicated. I might be able to do it though. Just not sure where I would put it exactly. I'm concerned that it might make the heart read less. Let's see if I can get a little outline here. I think I need my nano for this. All right. Does my voice get way too loud if I'm this close to the microphone, or is it okay because I'm off to the side, or what's happening with that? because I don't really have a good way to test that. From the from the readout on the thing, it looks kind of loud. So I'm trying not to speak too loudly. It would have been instead of the heart. Ah, I see. Yeah, the delay is a little bit of a bitch. But there's the delay where y'all don't see what I've said for like a solid minute after I've said it. And then the secondary delay where it takes you a little while to respond by typing. And I think I see that pretty much right away, because when I'm looking at chat, I'm looking at chat on my phone rather than on the device that's actually doing the streaming. So it has the same delay y'all have. So your responses seem to show up there instantly, but yeah, it's a solid minute delay for y'all to hear what I'm saying most of the time. Anyway, I think we got there. Actually quieter when I'm off to the side. I guess that makes sense because it's a little bit directional. So I'm kind of like just past it a little bit. All right, so we got our little buddy here with his little heart, and this one with his candy. Hello, Daphne, welcome. Yeah, there's also the delay of me not being able to read your mind. That's really the real problem. Once we can solve that, then we'll be in good shape. I don't think I want to read everybody's minds. It sounds like a terrible superpower to have. I don't want to know what everybody is thinking all the time. There's a lot of really awful people out there, and also a lot of really icky people out there, and I don't want to know what any of those people are thinking. And even the people among us who are perfectly reasonable and lovely have terrible thoughts sometimes. I know I do. I have terrible thoughts that nobody needs to hear. But, you know, that's why we don't have to say everything that comes into our heads. You like the colors I picked? Yay! Thank you. This is my beautiful Pan Pride Mani, just about finished. We still need to top coat, but I'm gonna do a seal glaze on the ones that have nail art on them to keep that from smearing when I put the regular top coat on. So this is the DRK seal glaze. I do not have any kind of relationship with DRK. I just like this product. But I also have used other. So I'm picky about my smudge-free top coats. So the DRK seal glaze and the Apipila water-based ones are the two that I will go for these days. There's a lot of other so-called smudge-proof or smudge-free or no smudge top coats that actually have the same solvents that are in anything else, but just like in a slightly different proportion. And those will still smudge if you're not like floating them really carefully, or if you apply them just a little bit too soon. So I tend to stick with the ones that just simply don't contain any of those solvents, because they work more reliably for me. Yeah, I don't want to hear all my own thoughts, let alone anybody else's. That's really real. Some of my thoughts really just need to go away. Okay, we need top coat on the non-nail art nails. Jamie is doing this little thing that she does that's like almost a snore, where she goes and it's incredibly cute. If you can get close enough to her face when she's doing it, her mouth actually like sort of like you can see her little cheek go like it just fucking cracks me up. You won't be able to see that from here, but you can at least enjoy her sleepy bundle. Just got all kinds of beans. All kinds of sleepy beans. Such a good girl. Alright. I'm gonna be hasty and put my top coat on right away, even though I probably... Well, should I wait a little longer? I should wait a little longer. It's really humid in here, so the seal glaze takes a little bit longer to dry. Normally I can kind of get away with being a little bit hasty with putting on my regular top coat after the seal glaze, but the more humid it is, the more time I have to let it sit. But that's okay. My watch is charged. Yay. It's been on the charger this whole time, which means I missed a stand hour. Horror of horrors. I won't have a perfect day. I'm a slave to my watch telling me about when I have to stand up and move around for a minute. I'm just going to shake my arm and convince it that I'm moving. Is that cheating? Yeah, probably. Do I care? Not that much. I'm only cheating myself. You know, I do always get my 12 stand hours basically every day. It's not difficult to do, legitimately, but I missed a stand hour because it was on the charger, so I feel like I've been cheated out of a stand hour. All right, I think it's dried enough to go. I like how these came out. I'm pleased with these. I think the candy suggestion was a good one. And I like the flakes. I think this whole thing is just stinking cute, and I'm pleased with it. I hope y'all like it too. There will be more Pride Month shenanigans, of course. I have other manis planned. I am gonna do next week. My live stream is gonna be the playing with and swatching out those the summer collection from Abomination Cosmetics. I showed a little peek of it on my stories on Instagram. I think it's still up there, but it's an entire like neutral collection in a variety of different finishes. So I'm going to swatch that out, and that'll be the next stream. It's going to be at the usual time and place and everything, and then I think the stream after that might be Arcana Lacquer, but I'm not sure yet. But I might squeeze in an extra stream to do some more nail art. I don't know. I like doing nail art on stream, and I feel like when all I'm doing is like swatch things for collections, it gets a little bit boring for people. I don't know. Maybe not. Y'all can let me know. But I'm thinking it might be fun to do a secondary stream somewhere in between, maybe on an afternoon, and just do some nail art. Because I want to do more Pride Manis this month, and I'm having a hard time finding time to do them, because I have a lot of swatching to do this month. So, anyway, all right. I think we did a good job tonight, y'all. Thank you all for hanging out and helping me figure out my adorable raccoon Manny. I'll post photos up in the Discord probably tonight. At least one photo, throw up something unedited, and then it'll end up on Instagram sometime in the next week or so. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye. How do I stop? I always forget how to stop this fucking thing.